you have got to fucking compare yourself to other people. You've got to see what's working for other people, and obviously what's working for them isn't always going to translate to you. Their results isn't always going to translate over to your specific situation. But you have got to understand what the fuck people are doing out here and compare it to your situation so that you know what to do better. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your brother Trey with some unpopular opinions, man. You know I stay with them. Hey, man, I hope y'all are doing great, man. Check this shit out. I was having a conversation with my family the other day, and we were talking about just doing better. I want everyone to do better. I want everyone around me, my family, my friends, people that I'm involved with. I want the black community to do better. I just want people in general to do fucking better, man. Like, there's so much hatred. There's so much shit in this world that put you down. Not to mention with this dating shit right here going on in the world. We got the men and women and shit. We got black women that love Cynthia G coming in the comments saying abort black babies, black men and shit. And then we got the men that are saying fuck the black women, and then we got the people that are just in the middle just like, man, I don't fit either anywhere. Well, I'll just step out of the frame over here. And it's like, at the end of the day, just become better. And so I come here with the message about comparing yourself. It's very unpopular, but first we got to define what comparison means, what comparing means. You guys, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. The definition of compare is to estimate, measure, or note the similarity or dissimilarity between individuals, things, of nouns, right? Form the comparative and superlative degrees of an adjective or an adverb, you guys. This is the definition of comparison. So what this means is you need to look at, I use this as an example. I use this, Africans that come to America. Now, I know this is going to make people mad and shit like that, and obviously I'm young, and you'll be like, oh, you haven't experienced that much of life. You don't really know. You're young. Okay, well, let me tell you this, man. Before you start talking all that shit. Dislike the motherfucking, I don't care. Dislike it. I've spent 5-6 years of my dating life with African women. I spent 3 years living in an African family, a household. Got to see how they lived. They got to talk to them and shit like that. Got to understand where they came from and what led them to living the life that they live today. A lot of African people that come here, some do have support. Some have support already here established in America, right? Some have families that are well off to do in Africa, whatever countries they come from, Senegal, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, whatever. And they might pull together their resources to actually come over here, send one of them over here. Usually a male, because the men get the fucking money. The men work. The men do this, they do that. They will get the money. And once they've established themselves, they will send for their wife and their family. That's typically how it's happened. The Africans that I know were first generations. Their parents, the girls that I know, their parents were first generations in America. And their stories are absolutely phenomenal. You want to talk about the North Korean chick who escapes from sex trafficking or some shit like that? Man, I'm not saying that that's not bad, but fuck, it's bad almost all around the world, you know, especially when they coming in, like, power outages is a thing. I just finished getting some of my hand-me-down clothes. Ended up giving it to this girl I'm talking to. Wonderful, wonderful woman. She's shipping this off to Nigeria to her aunt. We did this like 2-3 months ago. It's just now reaching them. It's just now reaching Nigeria. She can't even get it. Like, her aunt can't even get the fucking package just yet. It's still got to do all this customs and shit like that. I can get on my motherfucking phone. If I want to get some fucking toenail clippers, a fucking vacuum, I can get that shipped to my house today. That shit'll be here before I hit the bed tonight. They don't have that type of shit out there. They don't even have mortgages in some of these other countries. You know what I'm saying? Credit isn't even a fucking thing in some of these third world countries. We come from greatness, man. Like, regardless of what you want to say, you want to hate America, all this, that, and the third. We have so many opportunities here in this motherfucking country that people are leaving their families, leaving their lives, leaving their traditions to come to this motherfucking country. and we want to sit here and still continue to complain and not do this shit. You want to talk about the immigrants are still in the fucking work? How about you get off your fucking ass and actually do some work? Just like the whole shit with about the I know this is mostly like a white thing. They were talking about, oh my God, the immigrants are coming to take all of our jobs. Those are the jobs that motherfuckers don't even want to do. Nobody want to do this, half the jobs that these people are doing. And yet they're fucking doing these jobs, landscaping, sewage, plumbing, and making their own businesses like AMS and Kev Sammy's talk about, man. They make money. They got a fucking drive. And you too prideful to get off your fucking ass and go do some work out here. But you want to talk about generational curses. You want to talk about how you don't have this, you don't have that. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that. You need to compare your situation where you came from. I'm not saying that the shit that you came from ain't tough, ain't hard. Where you came from, the lack of resources that you have absolutely plays a factor in how far you go or where you at right now. Absolutely it does. But you can't let that shit stop you. You can't let that shit stop you. That should make you want to work harder. And I'm not even just talking about work an extra 5, 10, 20 hours at fucking Kroger. Fuck that shit. No, you got to work smart. I'm sorry I'm spitting everywhere, you guys. I'm passionate about this shit, man. Like, these Africans can come over from their fucking rinky-dink ass villages with no consistent power. They gotta walk miles to go to a fucking town. They can't even get their mail and shit. And they come over here, start businesses, and get richer, get off their asses, get established on their feet faster than a lot of these motherfuckers have been. They be born this motherfucker and still don't have half the shit that a lot of these Africans or other immigrants have. You know what they got? And then you want to say, oh, but they got community. It's different. They got people looking out for them. Okay, I'll give you that. They do. That should make you want to work even harder. That should make you want to establish a community that much more. Because guess what? It works. It fucking works. You want to talk about the shit that these other Africans and other people have? And you want to talk about what we don't have? What you don't have? Well, how about you get what they fucking have? Oh, but you're saying, oh, you know what? You don't know what you're talking about. I come from the trenches. I come from the mud. My grandmother was a farmer. My great-grandmother was a fucking farmer. A fucking farmer. They didn't have shit. Not the farmers that you got, that's today, that got like fucking hundreds of thousands of acres with corn and shit. No, my great-grandmother was on some fucking color purple shit, man. They lived on a farm with her and her fucking 8 other siblings, dad and stepmom. Stepmom was abusive as fuck. The food that they made, they grew, they ate. They survived with it. Sometimes they would have enough to fucking sell. This was early 1900s. Wasn't that long ago, you guys. Wasn't that fucking long ago. And so we want to talk about what we don't have. Well, you need to talk about, if you don't have it, go fucking get it, man. Just go get it. Go get the shit. You know what I'm saying? Establish a fucking plan. This is a lifelong thing, you guys. There are a couple things in life that people have there are a lot of things that we all have that are similar, that everyone has. One of the couple things that I want to point out is life, death, and the quality of life. Those 3 things, everyone that's alive, anything that's breathing shares those 3 fucking things. Life, your quality of life, and death. You're going to be living for a long ass fucking time. Right? You want to say life is short? Motherfucker, 65 years is a long ass fucking time. I don't give a damn what you guys talk about. This COVID shit has been going on a long time, it feels like. It feels like it's only been 2 years, motherfucker. It ain't even been 2 years yet. March will make it fucking 2 years. Come February, March, that'll be 2 years. It ain't even been 2 years yet, motherfuckers. You want to talk about life is short? Motherfucker, your quality of life is what matters. You want to make sure your quality of life is as nice and, dare I say, hedonistic as possible. The reason why I say this is because life is suffering. You're going to be suffering in some sort of way. Shout out to Jordan Peterson for saying that shit. Life is suffering in some way, shape, or form, you guys. You're going to sacrifice. You're going to put the fucking work in. You're going to put the time in. But you want to make sure that the time and the work that you put in matters and it means something. You need to look at the people online that are genuine, see what they got. Get it. That should inspire you to go get it. Fuck this jealousy shit. Fuck this going to go robbing and shit, man. Go fucking make it yourself. Or talk to the motherfuckers that got this shit, man. Talk to the motherfuckers, ask them what they doing, pick their fucking brains, and go get it your fucking self, man. That's exactly what I did. That's what I do. I don't hate on motherfuckers. I hate on the opinions that motherfuckers have sometimes. I hate on the way that they move sometimes. But I don't hate them and for what they got. What's motivating you? People want to talk about, oh, there's no such thing as, motivation is this generic thing. You got to figure out for yourself. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Do you want your mama, your dad, your grandmother, whoever you love, you want to see them on their deathbed fucking suffering in fucking pain from a terrible ass bed, inadequate medical support? What about the fact that what if you had to drop your career to go take care of your family? There's somebody I'm working with right now. Motherfucker spent 18 years in Japan. 18 fucking years in Japan. And you know what? He went back to Kansas City, Missouri, where I'm from, to nothing. All this motherfucker talks about is Japan. All he talks about is Japan. You think he wanted to go back to Missouri? Yeah, he did. Because his mom and his dad were there. They were getting senile. They didn't have enough support. He's not just going to let them die. You're not a heartless motherfucker like that. Some people would. I wouldn't do that shit. And I know a lot of you wouldn't let your mom and dad do that. Some of y'all would. Some of y'all don't give a fuck. Hey, whatever. But you know what that means too? That means that you got to make enough money, especially if your parents and shit like that, if you don't come from nothing, if you first generation, 6-figure earners, 7-figure earners, you first generation, you got to keep getting more. You can't fucking stop. Because who's going to pay those bills? I want to make sure that when my mother is needed some support, some help, some assistance, I'm gonna be able to pay for some great ass medical support, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna have to. Hey, yeah, can I get 7 days of PTO on? My mom is, she's not good. I just don't know if I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't. Well, guess what? If you don't come back in time, we might have to write you up for that. But I hope she does good. Take care of her. Raggy? What? Fuck no! I will not be in a situation like that, you guys. You don't want to be in a situation like that. But I'm going to tell you, how many people do live in situations like this? How many people... I'm not even going to get into that, man. It's just... I can't fathom. I witnessed my great-grandmother on her deathbed in her house. And she died right before my fucking eyes. And I wish I had more. I wish I had so much more to provide for her. I can't let that happen in my life again. Another time, you guys. Like, they're just... There's nothing in life that I can do that is as strong as what my great-grandmother has done. She held back death just to get on the phone, FaceTime, and say goodbye to me and my sisters. Like, if you feel like you can't ever pay your parents back, your grandparents back, or whatever, this is it. This is how you do it. This is how you pay back your parents, your grandparents. Make sure that their end of life is good. I'm not saying sacrifice your life for that, but all of the benefits that you get with having a lot of extra money, having your mind right, understanding the world around you, you're able to give to so many more people. You've got to use all that you have at your disposal. Things are going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. The more that we get, things are going to get more saturated. The further this, the world goes, it's going to get tougher and tougher, you guys. You got to get your real estate, get that space of land, get your slice of the pie before it's gone, yo. For real, man. And so, I say all this to say, man, there's nothing wrong with comparing yourself with other people. Just don't let what other people have and what you don't have, don't let that difference eat away at your inspiration and motivation. Don't let that shit discourage you from keeping on your grind and putting so much effort in your passion and shit like that, yo. Let it inspire you. Let it fuel you. Use it like coal. Like, that's amazing. I'm like, wow, you've got a fucking community of people. Like, what? They gave you a job? Holy shit. Man, you know what? Instead of sitting here hating, good for you. Good fucking for you. I'm gonna go get that for myself too. I would love if there's anything you can do to help me out with that, man. But I'm here to work. I'm not on no fucking... You remember that motherfucker that approached Jake Paul? Can I get a job? I want to work for you, Jake Paul. I quit my 6-figure job to come work for you, man. Make me sick. Just make me sick with that shit, man. But anyways, it's your brother Trey with Unpopular Opinions, man. Don't stay off your grind, bro. Don't let that hate, don't let anybody, don't let this shit take away that fire that you have for your passion. Use it as fuel. Use it as fuel. And compare yourself. Compare your business. Compare your body. Compare your body, everything. Compare yourself to what other people are having. Because once you start doing that, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. But with that uncomfortable feeling, you need to use that feeling and transfer it and direct it into action. That's going to make actions that are going to make your life better, y'all. I'm going to leave with that, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your brother Trey. And I'll see y'all later.